Right, this is Pitch the Pod with WSL legend and Nikita, extra hot with a shot. I mean, that's like a coffee reference, Parris. And Jordan Match of the Day Nobbs. Every week they bring you topics straight from the pitch to this podcast. It doesn't get any better as we discuss the biggest talking points in the world of football, the WSL and beyond. This week, Hawaii the lasses, Hawaii that goes in, and fun to play Hawaii. If you've spotted the theme, award yourself a Stotty and Peas pudding because we've only got a very special guest this week, England legend. She knows all Jordan's childhood secrets. We want to know what photos she's got of her. And now she's her skipper at Newcastle United. It's only Demi Stokes.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Dish the dirt, dish the dirt, dish the dirt.
No, that's not the point of this podcast.
Oh.
It's
I won't
football
expose you,
chat.
don't worry.
I think you'll find it is, isn't it, Nikita?
Well, if you've got any in cellars, then that's Jordan's been, any mishaps or funny moments Jordan's had over the last few weeks, we're all ears.
Well, to be honest, I'm also glad that she's here because I just like her one-liners and her comments, and we're all going, what? You've been known for that, haven't you, Jordan?
I have been known for that, yeah, for a long time, and it's just never changed, unfortunately.
You need
I
to do a
can't
book of
spell.
quotes and comments.
Yeah, can't spell, pronounce things wrong, and then, yeah, unfortunately. There's a few players that have like actual note pages of me with what the things I've said in the past, and I'm like, yeah,
Good job you can play football.
yeah, literally.
And you could be back this weekend, fingers crossed, which is brilliant news. Take me back to, hang on, I thought you two met when you were like 6 or 7, but you got a photo of her when she's 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. How does that work?
I don't know why you have that. It was probably my mum being like a weirdo and like give a Jordan or something. But yeah, no, we met when we were like 7. We turned up to trials an hour early. Who even does that? So we ended up just playing passy for like an hour. And then it was only us two that got picked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah,
We were just-
we were just tiny. We laughed because we were like little ants just playing football.
Nikita, when did you come into their lives?
Oh, I met them. Well, I first met Demi in 2015 when she joined Manchester City from America. And I met Jordan a few years before that for England. Yeah, Jordan was in my England age group. So I met Jordan like under 17s, maybe under 15s, if I remember right. And yeah, come all the way through with them both, and obviously spent 6 years, 7 years at City with Demi. So know Demi well.
Little union.
dish the dirt on Keats then. We've got
We've
We've got time.
We don't have enough time for that.
I think we've got a whole library of podcasts of the dirt already, I think, and counting. Demi, what did you make of them both when you first, little Jordan and then meeting Nikita, what were your first impressions of them?
Well, Jordan, when I first met her, we just got on right away. But you're always really quiet when we were younger. And then Nikita always says, "Wears a heart on her sleeve," and you hear her before you see her. That Scouse accent.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I was watching you on the telly at the weekend, Keats, and I thought, you can just hear her through the TV, even though like it was like you couldn't. You could just hear through your face and your expression.
Hey, don't change.
No,
Oh.
exactly.
No.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
So when you heard that sort of you and Jordan were going to be reunited at Newcastle, what was that moment like?
Well, to be fair, I did help out with it. I said to the guys, I said, "Oh, I need a bit of a paycheck for that." I said, "Getting Jordan here," and he's like, "No, you proper helped us out," and I was like, "Well, yeah," but it was like no brainer when obviously I found out, and then obviously I just needed to give her a bit of a nudge and a bit of encouragement.
It's nice though, isn't it, when you never travel anywhere for friends or anything like that. You have to still go on your journey, but it does help when you have someone that you can trust. And obviously I trust Demi to speak to and just kind of get like real honest advice. So I think it's always nice when you can do that, and it's not just gonna spread around the world within like 30 seconds.
Yeah, ruin
'cause
your life.
You know
Yeah,
that happens.
clear.
Yeah. Yeah, all that.
Come on, ruin your life with me.
Well, I was going to ask what you offered, because we know that Michelle Kang took Nikita out for a cup of teas in China teacups and offered her the cup as well. But what was the offer, Jordan?
What, with Demi?
Yeah.
Oh, just good words. Yeah, just good words. Yeah,
I'll look
that's
after
all
you.
I can say.
It wasn't.
I'll cook you tea.
It wasn't. I can't remember even what I called it. A stotty and peas pudding. Have you? I mean, you both know of the food of the area anyway, right? But
Yeah.
But what's the local
Ham and
delicacy?
peas pudding. Ham and peas pudding, fish and chips. Typical northern food.
Chicken parma.
What is that? I was gonna blend it like I knew exactly what you were talking about, but
That's in your face, girl.
lost me at the start. Stocky pudding.
It's nice,
or
though. I
whatever.
think you'd like it.
Oh.
Fish and chips, then. It's
Yeah, fish and
it's chickpeas, actually. It's like it sounds awful, but it is chickpeas.
It looks awful as well.
Yeah, it does look awful, but it tastes very good.
You forget Nikita's a southern softie now. She
Oh, I
hangs
don't know
out.
about that.
Oh,
No, she's still a strong northerner.
yeah.
That never leaves you.
Too right. What was it for you about Newcastle then, Debbie? Clearly, Jordan, it was Demi selling it to you, but what was it about Newcastle United that you went, yeah, I want a bit of that?
I think it was, so I remember having a meeting and I literally had the meeting, walked out and was like, yeah, I'm happy to come here. I'm ready to come here. But I guess it was probably similar to when I did first join City. It was a new project. It was, you're playing at St James's. You've got that rivalry still with Sunderland, Durham. And I think to still have that is exciting. Obviously, we're not getting any younger. So for me, it was, how can I still get that, atmosphere, the thrill, and I just thought actually I want to be a part of it. But I also felt like I've got a lot to give on the field and off the field too. The girls are young, so it was quite nice to be, I guess, wanted, and know that I can help out.
Here's me jollying along, but like to hear that phrase, to feel like you want to be wanted, it's one, like, for all three of you actually. When you clearly you'd be wanted. Look at what you've achieved and what you continue to achieve in your career. But Keats, Jordan, to have that, club to say, right, you're the star. You're coming to us. We want you to be who you are. We believe in what you're doing. How does that sort of shift things and change things? How important is that as well?
I think it's massively important, and I think the most important thing is that they want you and everything you bring. And I think, all three of us are very strong-minded, strong-willed, but also have a very specific way of playing and have come through teams that have developed. So we've been the young player in teams, then we've been the player that's been in the middle, that's been able to bridge the gap between young and experienced. And now we are the experienced player. We know what it feels like to go through all of them stages within a club, within a team, in order to be able to push on and become, help the next generation. And that's, I feel like, the part of our career that we're all at. And we want to be able to be a part of a project that's going to be, in the future, one of the best teams in the league, if not the best, competing at the very top for all the trophies. And you want to be a part of a club that's going to give the resources and the support to be able to do that. So when a club comes in for you and they're like, we want you to be a part of this and you are our main focus within this structure, and we want you to be able to help the younger players and also push the level in a club, that's something that you automatically bring as an individual, because each and every one of us have played at a level, but we've always been consistent in how strong-willed we are to keep on challenging ourselves, because it's very hard to go into a club and your mentality is different. You're no longer connected to what they're trying to achieve, and when that gap happens, it's kind of difficult, and you're in a space where you want to be both aligned. And it's so nice to hear Jordan and Demi's story, that the clubs are aligned with who they are and where they want to go and what they can bring. It's super important.
Yeah, I think a bit like what Keats said, like Demi and Keats have made it to a higher level, because probably when they were younger, it was their own mindset and their own drive. And then as like times change, sometimes you do need that little bit of it's not arm around the shoulder, but it's just that respect feeling of, you've developed into kind of the player and the person you are. So you don't need kind of that, you kind of pass the learning stage of some of it. You are who you are, and you know your way of playing, like Keith said. But I think you always want that club to respect and want you as part of the team. I think we've all, if it's not been one of us or we've seen other players where you can easily see when players aren't wanted at a club, and it isn't nice. It's not nice, and as players we can't really change that or affect it. It's out of our hands. But I think when you've seen that in the past, it's not nice for a player to ever feel that, because you're all working for the same goal. You're all trying to be the best player you can be. So it's similar to what the guy said, really. Yeah, I think that would sum up my version.
I wonder as well, like when, of course, you've earned the right to go where you want and to do what you like, and all your careers stand for that. But having those, we joked about the fact that you helped and get Jordan across, Demi, but it's actually having people that you can talk to who are at a similar stage to you in your career and what you're doing. How important is that you can pick up the phone to each other and say, this happened, that happened, this is what I'm thinking?
I think it's massive. I think you, like Jordan said, you see players, fizzle out and get left behind or miss threats. So I think it is important to be able to have them conversations, be vulnerable, open up. But also you have that common ground because you've all gone through the same thing as well. So you're not ringing someone thinking, God, am I going crazy? Actually, if you speak to most people, I guess from our age, we've probably all felt something, or struggled, or felt not great during your career, and it is about having that connection, that support, because someone has probably been through it as well, and it is always about helping each other and how you can, I guess, still develop, still propel forward, but at the best version of yourself as well.
So also you want to take control, Keats, don't you, of like, it's your time and it's your decisions. Having someone else make a decision for you. We've seen so many players move this, someone continually move, but it seems, I don't know about like how you, and we spoke about this before, how you have any roots at all. It's getting better now, right? But if you've got family to support, mortgages to pay, things you want to do, yes, the money and everything's getting better, but it's still not a level where you can just say, all right, I'll go to another club this week, or I'll change and do this. There's that pressure as well on you, financially too.
Yeah, there is, and I think every time someone makes a decision, it always has to be within the best interest of themselves. But I do feel like within clubs, sometimes they just see you as a business, like a part of a business, so a chess piece on a chessboard, rather than a human being. But also, what they just see you what you can produce on the pitch. But the one thing I've noticed about many teammates that I would say I really looked up to, seen something different in, seen leadership skills in, is those players when the going gets tough off the pitch, that they're always there, they're always present. They're always there to put an arm around your shoulder, have a conversation. They always stay present. And I think clubs forget that. They just see what someone produces on the pitch and think, oh, actually, I would like to change that person. But when you take a certain player and a certain personality out of a team, whether they're playing on the pitch or they're not, it really affects the group. And I think women's football hasn't developed in that area yet. We just see it as a business, a growing business, and we ship someone in, we move someone out, and we need to get this player in, so this player has to go. And they don't see how that one player, by taking one player out, you can affect like 5 or 6 other people, and also the camaraderie within a team. Because ultimately, this is not an individual sport, so you're not just working for yourself, you're working for others and for those around you as well as yourself. So it's super important that clubs start to realize that you can't just continue to bring in someone, take someone out, and you think that won't affect the group, because ultimately, I get it's a business and you want to progress, but within that business are human beings.
Yeah. If you push yourself to that limit on the pitch, Jordan, Demi, then it's also about, of course, that's going to affect the team, isn't it, around you? Because you've gone through all these things. You've played to 95 minutes in a pressurised moment, whatever it might be. You've seen injuries. You've been in those pressure cookers together.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, obviously what Keith's touched on, I always say it's so important to, like, know a bit about the player's personal life, or, maybe what's going on, because if you can figure out, how they take what makes them happy, they're going to perform better. And I think clubs need to be better at that, because I just think if you can help and you can help someone elevate, off the pitch, like we all know, if your home life and all the rest of it is in place and good structure, you're going to get more from an individual. And I think you see it now with even like a lot of foreign players. Teams sign really good players, but you see them struggle, and it's not because they can't play football. It's just because everything's so new. They've left the family. They're not in their own home. They might speak a different language, and I think all that is the small pieces to the bigger picture. And I think if you can get all that in line, get the right support, then you will see individuals elevate, and you will see the team perform. And I do think we do forget that, because sometimes you see players and people go, "Oh, she's just in a mood," and actually, when you've had a conversation with someone, it's actually, "I'm struggling," or "This is going on at home." And I just think psychology and all the rest of it is so important in the women's game, because, like Keith said, we are humans and we're not robots, and we're not just a number. And that's, I think, how a lot of people do feel like they're threats sometimes.
Yeah. Did your perspective change when you had your son?
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, even coming to Newcastle, that was another decision. I was going to have more support from family. I would be closer to home, but also selfishly, it was for myself as well. But it's also knowing that if I've got, again, everything in line and everything working together, then I can continue to play football. And I think for women, people want to have babies now. People, and they can do it if the clubs support it.
You want to be settled, right? You want to know what's coming in next month, paycheck wise, what's coming in next year. I imagine it does shift how you think about things.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, for me, you want to give your child the best start, the best support. And I think, obviously, doing that is having a good job, but also a job that you enjoy. So for me, it was always, I want to keep playing, but also I want to keep playing for Harlan. I want him to see me play. I want him to, get that experience. And also, like, even just coming into training, like growing up, he's gonna think, wow, like, these strong women that I'm around all the time, I think is so good for him as well, being a little boy. And it just, like, he'll grow up and just think that's the norm, and that's what it should be.
I get it now. You were extra babysitting, weren't you, Jordan?
I've not had to yet, but I will be there. I don't know if Demi would trust me.
No, I would. Just after the brush, so you'd think you're hilarious.
Yeah, true. Take him running. We'd go running around the block.
He does come running sometime.
That's such a good point about having strong female role models too. And you do get that in Auntie Jordan as well, I'm sure. Absolutely. Jordan, have you seen like a change in Demi becoming a mum and how things have differed, maybe?
In a good way, no. I mean, Demi's just, honestly, I think Demi's the kindest soul. I just, that's why we've been friends for so long. She'd do anything for anyone. And I always say that Demi should write a book, because, like, I hope Demi doesn't mind, but how Demi grew up and, like, the struggles she had to go through, or, like, getting on buses and riding bikes from such a young age to get. No, I know, but it's, sometimes people have different journeys, and, like, I just think it's incredible what Demi's done as a human. And I think now to have a little baby, like, he'll just be the best looked after, because, yeah, Demi's just so caring, got a head screwed on. And yeah, I think you're lucky if you have someone like Demi in your life.
No, I second that. Yeah, that is so true. I think you don't find many people like Demi in football, but even in life, because I know if I ever had any struggles, I could just pick up the phone, text Demi, and I know she'll respond straight away. And I think throughout my journey, I've had ups and downs, and especially in the last few years when things don't go right on the pitch or within a certain team, and you just need someone who's consistent and who's going to give you the honest opinion, and you just need someone just to be there. I've always texted Demi, Jill, and Tony, and Farah next, because them people in my life have been the most consistent in and out football. I can ask them any question, and without doubt, I'll get an honest answer, and I'll be able to. I'll just feel okay. I'll know I'm going to be okay. So I appreciate Demi more than anyone would ever know.
I mean, this is all a bit much now for me. I don't know about you, then.
I know, get the tissues out.
Do it. Going back to bringing him into training and stuff. I know, Nikita, when you have time like with the kids too, just like seeing you bounce around, does it shift things in training? Do the rest of your teammates love having him about?
Yeah, like you can see the mood. It changes, doesn't it?
100%. Remember when he came to the Euros and he was in the pictures? Oh,
Yeah,
he was this little
cute.
dot, and everyone was just like, oh, like it was a little puppy, like lifted up in the air, like he's Simba of like Lion King. Then I thought, watch out, it's my son. It's not a puppy.
Don't drop him.
Yeah, literally. Oh,
I think when you're in tough times, again, it's good to have just something that's completely away from it. I know you mentioned about the little puppy, but I see it too when you all have dogs coming into training. Just something to take your mind off what you're doing is a different experience. How old is he now?
He's 3, but looks about 6 foot. He's going to be taller than me next year. He's literally up to my shoulders. I'm like, stop growing, please. But then also he can look after us, so I don't mind.
He can't be as tall as Newcastle men's team's new striker. Have you met Nick yet? He's like, how tall is he?
Is he 6'7" or something? Was he?
That's crazy. No, I've not seen him. God, Jordan, we'd be minute next to him.
you could have Jordan on your shoulders and you still wouldn't be taller than him.
Yeah. So true.
It's all those memes you keep seeing for banner images at the moment. It would just be his chest, wouldn't it? And then nothing else. It's the same with me.